Hello guys. So in this video we will be writing few programs in Python using the concepts what we learned so far, right? So here's the first program, that is write a program to print factorial series. So here's a small example. So given an input 5 that we have to get from user, so we have to print the series and then the final factorial value. So we will be writing program for this. So first what I have to do is I have to get input from user, that is this 5, right? So I have to store. So I'll say n is equals to, and then I'm typecasting it to int, and I'm getting input, and while getting input the message is enter a number. So this is the input what I'll get, prompt, you can say basically it's a prompt message what I'll get for inputting a number. So once I get that number, so I have to iterate from 1 till that number, right? So for that, should I use a for loop or while loop? Since it's a continuous number and pattern, so I can use while loop. So I can create an index variable. So I can say it initially as 1, then I can say while I is lesser than or equal to n. So while it's lesser than or equal to n, we can simply print, I can print the I value, and then I can print x, and then yeah. So let's try to run this, and let me update this. So now let's try to run this. So if I enter 5, okay, so basically it's printing in multiple line. So to print it in same line, I would give another parameter in this by saying end by white space. So now if I run this, so okay, it's printing 1 2 3 4 and up to 5. So let me create a new variable called fact, where I have to be adding the factorial, right? So I have to append the factorial. Fact is equals to fact into I. So fact value will be initially 1, so it will be 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into so 5. So after this while loop, then I can simply print is equals to, and then I can print fact. So now if I run this program and I print 5, so here you see I get 1 2 3 4 5 and then 120. But then one difference you can see here is I have an extra into mark at the end, which I don't want. So if I run it for any case, so you see after that last number I don't want any x, right? So in that case we can add in simple if else. So I can say if my I value is equal to n, that is if it is as last part, then let me just copy this statement. So what I'll say, if it is equal to n, that is this last number, so just print I, don't print anything else. I would say else you print with x. So now if I run this, so once my I value is 6, that is at the last, so what it does is it basically it just prints the I value, that is this 6, it doesn't print the x. So and for remaining cases 1 to 5 and all, it prints this case since the condition is false. So this is a small program which we have written for this. Now the next program is we have to write a program to reverse a number using function. So here I'll create a function called as reverse or rev. Okay, so here I have created a function called reverse which accepts a number which has to be reversed. So I'll create a new variable called reverse, which will be initially 0, and then the logic for reversing the number or accessing each number is very simple. So until unless my number is equal to 0, I keep running across and I get the remainder. So to get a single digit, what I would do an mod operation with 10. So that is how I'll be getting one single number, right? That final, the last right digit. Once I get that, so I will say rev is equals to, I have to append a digit. So to append digit, you have to multiply by 10 and then add the remainder, and then finally I would say num is equals to num floor division 10, and then finally after this everything is performed, it will return me the reverse. So this function is created. So now I have to get the input from user. So I'll say n is equals to in, and I'll get an input, and I'll ask the user enter a number. So the user will enter a number, and that number I have to perform, and I have to call this reverse method, and I have to pass this n. So that n will be stored in this num, which will perform this reverse logic and return me this reverse number that will be stored in res. Then I can finally print. So I can print, the reverse of, and then I can say n, and I can say is, and I can pass the result what I get. So given a number 123, the reverse of 123 is 321. So it worked for any cases. So you can say this. So this was the second program what we did. So hope you understood the program here, how we write in Python using functions.